from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Amarachi Ubani.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight, Nigeria's Air Force helicopter crashes in Adamawa State, killing 3 people on board as military takes on terrorists in Chibok. President Jonathan submits nomination form to the PDP. Party chairman insists he remains a sole candidate of the party. House of Representatives Committee summons Finance Minister and boss of Mortgage Refinance Company to answer questions on workers' housing scheme. And global economy comes into focus as world leaders gather in Australia for this weekend's G20 summit in Brisbane.
And on business news tonight, Nigerian telecom operators demand critical national infrastructure status from government in order to guarantee the safety of their base stations.
And on sports news tonight, finally relief for the Confederation of African Football as Equatorial Guinea accepts to host next year's Nation Cup.
We begin tonight with a story that at least 3 people have been killed after a military helicopter crashed in the outskirts of Gire town in Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria. Students of the Federal University of Technology, Yola, located near the crash site, told Channels Television that the helicopter was one of the 2 seen hovering over the area. Residents say the choppers had apparently been conducting surveillance flights in the area. The chopper crash, which happened around 10 p.m. Thursday, is the second within 2 weeks. A confirmation has been posted on the Defense Headquarters blog, but the identities of the victims who were on board the chopper have not been disclosed. Meanwhile, the military is reported to have launched a fierce battle against Boko Haram militants in Chibok, a town in Borno State where over 200 secondary school girls were abducted by the terrorists in April. The sect members were said to have forced several residents of Chibok to flee into the bush after they stormed the town yesterday, shooting indiscriminately and burning houses. One of the residents who fled to the Borno State capital, Maiduguri, told Channels Television that residents started hearing gunshots at about 5 p.m. on Thursday, and there was confusion everywhere, forcing many to flee. He, however, said that a combined team of the military, local hunters, and the civilian JTF have mobilized and moved to the town, but nothing had been heard about the operation since then. Efforts to get the update on the situation in Chibok have not been successful, as calls and text messages sent to the spokesperson of the Defense Information, Major General Chris Sulukolade, were not replied. It is believed that the takeover of Mubi in Adamawa State by the military may have forced the militants to go on a rampage in the neighboring states. We do have news, though, that 7 people, including a suicide bomber, have been killed after a bomb exploded at the NNPC filling station in Hotoro area of Kano metropolis. Of the 7 dead victims, 3 are said to be policemen who were guarding the facility at the time of the attack. According to the Commissioner of Police in the state, Aderile Shinaba, 5 people were injured in the blast. Again, 7 people, including a suicide bomber, have been killed after a bomb exploded at the NNPC filling station in Hotoro area of Kano metropolis. 3 of the victims are said to be policemen who were guarding the facility at the time of the attack. We turn our attention now to electoral matters as Vice President Namadi Sambo submitted President Goodluck Jonathan's presidential nomination and expression of interest forms to the leadership of the People's Democratic Party. The forms are to enable the president vie for the party's ticket at the primaries scheduled for December 10th and 11th in Abuja. The acting national chairman of the party, Alhaji Adamu Muazu, who received the forms, said President Jonathan remains the sole candidate of the party for the presidential race. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezoke, reports.
It was a beehive of activity as members of the People's Democratic Party stormed the National Party Secretariat in Abuja to witness the submission of the President's nomination forms. This Friday was the last date for the submission of all nomination forms sold out by the party. Inside the hall, various governors, Senate President and his deputy, ministers as well as members of the Federal Executive Council, Board of Trustees and National Working Committee were all seated in solidarity of the President. Submitting the form, the Vice President is happy that his principal had changed the country's economy since he assumed office.
Our President that has pushed and moved his country forward and slowly into the greatest country and the best economy of Africa and the 26th economy in the world.
In his reaction, the national chairman, Adamawa, reiterated the decision of the party to make the president the sole candidate of the party.
The party at the caucus meeting, board of trustees meeting, and NEC, that my own presided over by me, has agreed and endorsed you unanimously the sole candidate of our party in the forthcoming election.
I'm saying that nobody should intimidate this country, nobody should intimidate the citizens, nobody should have monopoly of governance, and that it is important for every section of this country to be given a sense of belonging. That's why we came out solidly behind President Goodluck Jonathan.
The submission of the nomination form by Vice President Namadi Sambo has finally put pay to all doubt and Thomases that there is no vacancy in the Vice President's office come 2015, while the President has promised to deliver a better economy when re-elected. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has received the All Progressives Congress presidential nomination form bought for him by some members of his colleagues in the House. However, Mr. Tambuwal told journalists when he was handed the form that he is still consulting and will let Nigerians know if he will run for presidency in the 2015 general elections. He thanked his colleagues and explained that the purchase of the form is akin to his emergence as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
I must say that this is almost akin to what happened in 2011 after our general elections, when I left my fellow constituents, Tambuwal, to Abuja, and my colleagues in the House of Representatives and several Nigerians, in consideration of the need for us to have a stable, focused and progressive House of Representatives, decided that I should come and serve as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. To God be the glory that with every sense of humility we have done fairly well so far in leadership of the House of Representatives. And I'm sure part of what you have identified as a trait of leadership in me is coming from the way we've been able to manage the House of Representatives. Therefore, I will thank my colleagues, 359 of them in the House of Representatives, that have showcased me and have given me the support to get to where I am today, for me to be considered by these very, very serious and well-meaning Nigerians to contest and vie for the most coveted office in the Federation. Having said this, and having heard what you have said, I have accepted to collect these nomination forms and go and conclude my consultations and come back to Nigerians soonest on what should be my final position on this matter.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, on his race to Aso Villa. Our President Olusegun, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and his former deputy Alhaji Atiku Abubakar may have left the past behind them as the duo held a closed-door meeting at the Hilltop residence of Chief Obasanjo in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The meeting, which lasted for about 30 minutes, is believed to be connected to the 2015 general elections, as the former Vice President has declared his interest to contest the #1 seat in the elections on the platform, of the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Answering questions at the end of their meeting, the former vice president described his relationship with his former boss as cordial, saying that Chief Obasanjo remains a national leader. Over in Anambra State, Governor Willie Obiano says the All Progressives Grand Alliance is set to take over leadership of at least 3 states in the southeast because of its strong political ideology. Mr. Obiano made the assertion when a governorship aspirant from Abia State, Alex Oti, paid him a courtesy visit at the governor's lodge in Amobia. He asked party faithful to continue preaching the gospel of brotherhood, which the party is known for.
It's a season of campaigns for the 2015 general elections in Abia State. One man who seems poised to win the heart of the electorate is Mr. Alex Oti, a governorship aspirant contesting on the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. On a courtesy visit to the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, Mr. Oti described the party as a movement that will emancipate the Igbo nation. He then made his vision known for his state.
Our state needs help. And I looked at myself and said, we cannot sit idly back and complain and criticize. If we do nothing about our situation, then we lose the right to complain. So I told myself one morning that I will not stand up or shut up, and I chose the former.
Mr. Oti already has picked his nomination form to run as Abia State Governor. And the national chairman of APGA, who obviously looked delighted at the event, said the defection of the aspirant to the party is a welcome development and a dream come true.
We came to our party secretaries, the national secretaries, and mass resignation from the PDP, the governor for APGA, and protest the 2 forms to enable me to contest the governorship of APGA. APGA is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. By the kind of people and talents that we attract. Is one of them.
Prior to his visit to the Anambra State Government House, Mr. Oti had to visit the APGA headquarters where he met with the party's national chairman.
I'm very happy to be back home. We have a mission to take back our state and put it on its rightful place of development and industrialization. And I strongly believe that it cannot be done under a platform that does not believe in that vision.
The defection to APGA by Mr. Alex Oti is cheery news for party members in both Abia and Anambra states. But it's now up to his supporters to ensure that his ambition to serve his people becomes a reality come 2015.
In part 2 after the break, students of Plateau State University protest non-accreditation of courses 9 years after the takeoff of the institution. We have more in a moment. Please join us again.